I don't think I really introduced myself the first time around. I am Kapali Lyon. My position is I am the chair of the Department of Religion at the University of Hawaii. My research specialty is early 19th century Hawaii, but particularly the mission and particularly the Hawaiian reaction to the mission. While I do teach the Bible courses and some courses in biblical language, this is the material that I particularly love, and it's really the reason that I did come to Hawaii. This woman, as most of us probably know who she is. This is, of course, Kapali, the only real picture we have of her. This is one of the most dynamic, powerful, courageous people that I have ever run into in looking through history, particularly here in Hawaii. She was a match in every way for her husband who conquered the islands and joined them, and yet it was she who in many ways turned Hawaii from the course it had been into a different course, a course that she felt that it needed to follow in order to become part of a larger world. For the most part, Hawaii had remained in many of its traditional ways and part of its traditional culture, and that was part of who Kamehameha was, that he rejected outside religion. He said, no, what was good for me when I was young is good for me now. But as when he died, things changed. There was a feeling that in the biological holocaust that Hawaii was going through, the terrible depopulation, that something had to give way. That Hawaii was no longer the world unto itself as it had been at one time. Hawaii was now part of a much larger world. And how, as a small nation, could it survive in the midst of larger nations? How could it enter into a world that had been unknown not many years before? It was this woman who steered that course and made most of those decisions. So I show her up front, and I'll finish with her also, but we need to keep her in mind because she looms over this whole process that we're going to look at. Now, the Alii in 1820, I'm going to run through this very quickly because it's a very brief note. I'm going to skip a fair amount of the detail on these slides. The Alii in 1820 are really those who are around Kapali. They are in absolute charge, but they need to find a way to bring Hawaii into the modern world for Hawaii's own survival. And their solution is religious change and education. They grew up in a world where religion was a matter of life and death. Religion was not a simple matter. It was not a matter you could take seriously or not. People died regularly in ancient Hawaii because of religious violation. They grew up with this attitude, and that remained their attitude about religion, even when they overthrew important aspects of their own religion. The group that arrived in Hawaii in 1820 were a group of very young New Englanders. We usually see pictures of missionaries, and they look kind of old. But when they came here, most of them were in their late 20s and early 30s. They were young people, but they were highly educated. In the same way that the chiefs of Hawaii were the best educated people of their nation, the New Englanders were the best educated people of their nation too. They came with the same purpose in mind: religion and education. And it was on this point, on these 2 points, that two groups of people, separated in every possible way, joined together in what we might call an embrace for a time of 20 or 30 years, a period of absolute unity of purpose. What is the goal? How do we get there? What do we need to do? This is why chiefs are supporting missionaries. Missionaries are teaching chiefs. They are hand in hand trying to bring about the same goal. Now, it didn't last forever. There certainly came a time when missionaries and chiefs saw things very differently. But for the 20 or 30 years we're talking about, it is a collaboration in every way. I'm going to jump ahead a few slides here in order to talk about the collection itself. When Hawaiians first began writing, it was not the way most of us. Is the mic still on? Yeah, I'm really tired. When we sat in school, most of us, when we learned how to write, we would think, how do I spell the word right? And I'd have to look at a spelling book and wonder about those silent letters and get the GH and the T and all of those things in there. The learning of Hawaiian reading and writing was a very different process. It was self-dictation. Listen to yourself talk and write those sounds. You are dictating to yourself. And this is the process we see in almost all early Hawaiian writers. They are listening to themselves talk. Now, when we talk, it is a stream of sound. What are the boundaries of a word? These are concepts that we learn later on. When you hear a foreign language spoken, you don't hear words. You hear a stream of sound. And this is what writers are doing. They're writing down that stream of sound. And sometimes they hear it differently and they see it differently. This is an early letter by Lyon, and I've underlined a number of things that are imitative of quick speech. He sometimes pronounces the sound we hear as O, and sometimes he pronounces it as R. He writes this phrase right here, wallo, that is that walloking? Sorry, we would write that today very differently. But he's writing what he hears himself saying and putting it down on paper. All of the writers in the collection learned to write in this fashion. Now, the writers include a wide range of folks. They are, we think, probably almost all of them are Alii. Some of them are royals. Some of them are high-ranking Alii, including especially the circle around Ka'ahumanu. Some of them are on a different plane there, what we might call elevated Alii. People who have maybe not have the ruling chief status, but who have been elevated through marriage or for other reasons, and some we just really don't know much about. Okay. This last group, for example, some of them we know more about, some we don't know very much. Most of the recipients of this collection are to missionaries. 99 belong to Levi Chamberlain. In fact, without Levi Chamberlain, we probably wouldn't have this collection. He is the business guy. He's the one that everybody needs to talk to. Many of the letters are to his successors. He died in 1849, so there's another 20 or 30 letters to his successors. A few are to people outside of the mission, several to Jeremy Everts, who is the head of the ABCFM, and the corresponding secretary of the ABCFM, a few to a couple other people, and then a few to people who really aren't closely connected to the mission. Some related to newspapers, one letter to French priests, advising that it really is time to leave. A few Hawaiian recipients that we have, letters that somehow got into the collection in ways that we really don't know. Maybe because of Chamberlain. Why would Hawaiians writing to other Hawaiians end up in the collection? But they did. There's actually one letter, and it comes way at the end of it. It's 1887. It's by Lili'o Kalani, and she's writing to Mr. Forbes and inviting him to an ice cream party. So some of the letters are hard to track down, but the body of them come from a period in which it really is helpful in our understanding of what was going on in Hawaii. Now, the writers, several writers have a number of 5 or more letters themselves. You can see that Kuanaupa, he has the largest number, and yet most of his letters are requests for things, for cash, for shoes, for vests, things like that. There are a number of letters by John Papa'i'i, who also goes by under the pen name of Kamina. You can see the list of folks. There's some of the most important letters are written by chiefs who aren't listed on this list. Ka'ahumanu has 2 letters, and one which I'll go over in a little bit more detail, a long and beautiful letter, but we see a wide distribution of chiefs, most of them coming, I'm going to go ahead just a little bit and back up, most of them coming from the period of time between 1830 and 1845. So the number of Hawaiian letters in the collection is 187. Your program has 230. That includes English letters. The letters that we've been looking at are 187 Hawaiian letters from 1821 to 1822 to 1887. The majority of the letters are written to mission staff. 124 come from this period of 1830 to 1845. This is a critical period. Hawaiian newspapers don't really start until 1834. There are more and more of them over the years, but for the most part, the missionaries are using the newspapers for their own purposes. And Hawaiians writing about Hawaiian matters receive a smaller amount of space. It's not until 1861 that we get Hawaiian newspapers run by Hawaiians, written by Hawaiians, written by Hawaiians. So in this period, anything that we have written in Hawaiian relating to matters of the kingdom is particularly helpful to us. After Chamberlain's death in 1849, we only have 21 letters, so you can see what a critical part he has in this. Letters written to him got saved, got preserved, got put in the collection. Letters written to other people, it might be really quite haphazard. After 1869, we only have 1 letter at all, and that's the letter of Lili'o Kalani with the invitation to an ice cream party. There are several important genres of letters in this. 32 of these letters are what we call po'aha letters, and I'll explain more about this in a minute. Po'aha letters refer to a particular type of meeting with prospective church members. A great number of the letters are payments, bills, receipts. I need shoes, the one you saw, one we'll look at in a minute. I need a new vest. Some of them are newspaper contributions, letters that were written. One particular fellow was particularly interested in investigating certain subjects, sent them to Gulick or to the business editor of the newspaper, and said, see about printing this, and it ended up in this particular collection. There are letters to members of the ABCFM, and there are reports. These are also helpful to us in terms of history. Letters of reports of major events that talk about these events. One Hawaiian chief talking to another. What do we think about the British coming? What do we see about what's going on about the French coming to Hawaii? The uses of the collection are many and varied. One of them, I'm sorry, I can't read my own slide here. Oh, this is the one on language, okay. One of them is for language. We have a lovely Hawaiian dictionary. Mrs. Pukui and Samuel Everett put together a lovely Hawaiian dictionary, but it has it were two people working in a sea of books and papers that really cannot cover all that is necessary. This particular period of Hawaiian is almost entirely undocumented in our dictionary. For example, there's a phrase that I put there. Ina might. There's an idiom in the letters. We keep running into this phrase, ina might. And you look in our Hawaiian dictionary, there's no indication of what this might mean. It seems to mean something exactly like ayumai or ayumai. Here is something like that. But again, it's undocumented. There are grammatical features that are particularly common in this area that are not common otherwise. In terms of writing and spelling, this is particularly interesting and particularly challenging for somebody who learns Hawaiian in a classroom. The boundaries of the word were simply whatever anybody wanted them to be. You might spell the word ikaika as 3 different syllables. You might spell it as one syllable. You might join words, you might split words. The concept of punctuation really hasn't hit. And it really doesn't much yet before 1860. People are using punctuation in the same way that they're doing spelling. When you write, you imitate your speech. When you put in a punctuation mark, you imitate your speech. I don't know if many of you have heard of the old Kaleo Hawaii interviews with Larry Kimura and with Ovo Kokea. I did that show for a long time also. People doing a certain type of staccato type of speech. Wahelima koika. And these kinds of breaks and staccato performance. People of the time put commas in those places. Commas that have no meaning for a modern reader, but imitated their particular form of speech. So we can learn a great deal about English. What's that? Oh, come on. No, you don't want to say. I'm going to skip just a minute about Levi Chamberlain. He is our man of the moment. 99 letters of the collection written to him again. He was a trusted member of the mission. The Po'aha letters that I mentioned earlier are the letters in which people are nominated to go to meetings that will lead to church membership. Now, in Hawaii of this period, you don't decide that I'm a good Christian, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to become baptized and become a church member. If you're a chief, maybe you make that decision. But if you're a maka'inana, you really don't make that decision. Your chief, somebody in your village, somebody you work with, a chief that you know, you might express, I'm ready, I think I'm ready to move ahead, I want to be baptized, I want to become part of the church. Your chief will nominate you, and he'll write a letter probably to Chamberlain, or maybe to one of Chamberlain's successors, and he'll say, this person is ready, but maybe he is, and maybe he isn't, and we don't, and you'll make the final decision. There's a character reference. He's a good person, he's maybe not ready for this business again. What the real value of this letter, this kind of letter, is something I really didn't know, in spite of the fact that we've been studying the mission for a long time, is that it is the chiefs who are controlling church membership. It is the chiefs who decide who is moving ahead. It is the chiefs who are deciding, in the same way that chiefs have always decided, who takes the important roles within the society. They are the talent spotters. They are the ones who say, yes, this person is ready for Ko'aha. They're going to go to the Thursday night meetings, they're going to study, and maybe they will be ready for baptism and church membership. Here's an example. This is from Gideona La'anui, written to Chamberlain, and you can see there's absolutely no punctuation there whatsoever. Splitting the sentences, and sometimes the words can be a challenge. The letter is really quite simple. He nominates a particular person who is a part of his deep sea fishing crew, who run the nets. There's historical information here. We didn't know this about La'anui. We didn't know that he had a crew. Some of these letters help us to understand what was going on throughout Hawaii in terms of economics too. This is La'anui, a portrait of La'anui. Another letter that came to him is from Charles Kanaina. This is a letter of a different sort. It says, I need a black vest. A black vest that doesn't fade when put in the water, and I'm thinking that maybe you're the guy to get it. And if you're a Chamberlain, you think, well, see if I have a black vest, and then you take a look at Mr. Kanaina, and you say, yes, sir, then I'll get that to you right away. It's coming anytime you want. He was a powerful figure, and he often lent money to the mission, but he also expected a certain amount of reciprocation. Anyway, there are a great many letters of this type. These tell us something about the economics of Hawaii. What were the trade supplies? What was available in the stores? If it was available in the stores, chiefs didn't ask missionaries for it. If you could get it somewhere else, then you went and got it somewhere else. This also is true in the case of cash. Asking for something, money was in very short supply, and so the request would come also to Levi Chamberlain. Here's a letter where Abner Paki, the founder of the school, needs $20, and he puts it in very terse terms. Nah. I want some money. I want $20. And then Chamberlain, of course, finds a way to give him his $20. In fact, sends him 40 videos. With a little note here at the bottom by his messenger, Opunui, says, I went and I got the $20. Actually, I got $40, and I'm giving that back. So many of these letters don't seem like real gems of literary history. Really, many of them are not. But they are pieces in the puzzle of the Hawaiian kingdom of this time. Pieces in the puzzle of the churches, pieces in the puzzle of the economics. That is the Paki. Now, my favorite letter is one that I'm going to go over rather quickly, but this is Ka'ahumanu's letter. It's a long letter that she writes to the head of the American Board of Commissioners for Foreign Missions. She writes this letter just not long before her death. When missionaries came, she was part of the group that made the decision they could stay for a year. When they did come, though, she was really not very interested. It was a political decision. Hawaii needed to join the world. Hawaii needed to become part of the religion of all of the nations that were visiting Hawaii. As time went on, though, this powerful, able woman became in many ways a very sincere and heartfelt Christian. Sometimes we look at the political leaders and we think they're doing things strictly for the political benefit of it. When you look at this letter that she writes to Everett, who is one of the most respected religious figures in America, it is both a statement of her own faith and a statement of her own conversion and deep devotion to following Jesus, but also a letter that says, we did it. We did it. People came to us as missionaries, and we still accept them as teachers, but we did it. We are a Christian nation. We are not now one of the Aina Na'apo. We are part of the Aina Na'awa. We are a civilized Christian nation. I and my Hanai, who in this case is Kawikiauli, I and my Hanai have gone throughout the islands. We have proclaimed this message. Now, she, more than any other person, was responsible for Hawaii becoming a Christian nation. She, most leaders in the past had gone out in order to do ho'okupu, to accept tribute, to receive the reverence of the people out. She went out island upon island, tour upon tour, taking the message. This is the new law. This is the new way. This is the new faith. And more than any missionary could have done, more than any Kapali could have done, insisted that she turn her nation in a particular direction, a direction that she said, I'm going to skip to this last part, that Hawaii is now one of the Christian nations. She says, we're gonna pray for you. We're gonna pray for all the heathen nations. We're gonna pray for all of the Aina Na'awau, and you too. But she says also, you do the same thing. Pray for all the heathen nations. That's not us. Pray for the rest of the civilized nations, meaning the Christian nations, and for us too. That's our group. We have done what we sent out to do. And the Palapala, the letters, the Baibala were all part of that mission. She closes with a lovely statement saying that you and I will never meet, but our minds have already met. We are already here together, but in the last day in God's kingdom, we will finally see one another. It is a lovely, lovely letter, whether you agree with the political decisions she made or the way she went. It is a lovely letter. It allows us a bit into the mind of one of the great leaders in Hawaii. So just in conclusion, the collection itself serves many purposes: historical, economic, linguistic. If we want to know about the Hawaiian kingdom, particularly 1830 to 1845, and we want to know the language that's spoken here, the collection is absolutely essential in order to get at it. We can also see that these common goals between missionaries and chiefs produced a collaboration that is quite remarkable. Different peoples coming together to accomplish a common goal, right? Anyway, and the collection certainly provides us with a lot of information before the advent of the newspaper. Now, I hustled through a lot of that stuff. If anybody has questions, I will certainly sit around.
You know, but